The highway stretched endlessly through the desert, a single cracked ribbon of asphalt, swallowed by darkness. Truck drivers said this road was cursed, not haunted, not supernatural, just cursed by something far worse: humans. At 1:12 a.m., Ethan's car sputtered, coughed, and died. The fuel gauge had lied to him again. With no signal on his phone and no passing cars in sight, he shoved the door open and stepped into the cold desert air. The wind carried the faint smell of dust, metal, and something cooking. A dim yellow light flickered in the distance. A stall. A food vendor stand. Open at almost 1:30 in the morning? Ethan blinked. Who on earth sells food out here? He approached cautiously. A crooked wooden sign hung above the stall. Midnight snacks, open after dark only. A man stood behind the counter, back turned, chopping something with slow, deliberate movements. He wore a hood, shoulders broad, posture stiff. The chopping stopped when Ethan stepped into the glow. Without turning, the vendor spoke in a deep, gritty voice. "Long night, son?" Car broke down. Not sure what to do. The vendor finally turned. His face was pale in the lantern light, eyes hidden under the shadow of his hood. But he smiled, wide, too wide. "You look hungry." Ethan hadn't realized his stomach was growling until now. "What do you have?" The vendor gestured to a pot simmering behind him. "Family recipe. Warms the bones, clears the mind." It smelled surprisingly good, savory, spiced, comforting. Ethan hesitated, but the cold night and his hunger won. He sat on the creaky stool as the vendor ladled steaming broth into a metal cup. "First one's free," the man whispered. Ethan took a sip. It was delicious. Wow, what's in this? The vendor chuckled. "People say my special ingredient brings out the best in them, makes them honest." Ethan wasn't sure what that meant, but he kept drinking. "You get many customers out here?" "Oh, yes," the vendor said, "more than you'd think. Lost travelers, lonely drivers, folks running from something." "Running?" The vendor leaned forward. "Everyone who stops here is running from something." Ethan nervously laughed. "Not me, just ran out of gas." The vendor tilted his head as if listening to something. Then, in a small, whispery voice, one that sounded nothing like his own, he repeated, "Just ran out of gas." Ethan froze. That voice wasn't the vendor's. It was Ethan's voice. He swallowed hard. "How did you—" The vendor smiled. "I'm good at voices." He then shifted his tone again, this time whispering in the voice of an elderly woman. "Please, don't hurt me." Ethan's chest tightened. "What the hell is that?" The vendor's smile faded. He reached under the counter and produced a small leather pouch. He loosened the string and spilled several objects onto the wooden slab. Metal. Cold. Familiar. Keys. Dozens of them. All different. "Souvenirs," the vendor whispered. Ethan stood up. "Okay, I think I should go." "You're welcome to leave." The vendor stepped aside. "But the highway is long and dark, and I stay open for those who never make it very far." Ethan started backing up when he heard rustling behind him. He spun around. No one there. But then, a voice whispered right at his ear, in the voice of a teenage boy. "Help me!" Ethan stumbled back toward the stall. "Stop! Stop doing that!" The vendor lifted his hood fully. His face was smeared with dried blood, not fresh, old, brown, flaking. His eyes were wild. I mimic them," he said softly. "The ones who stayed, the ones who screamed, the ones who begged." Ethan broke into a sprint. The desert was cold, empty, merciless, but adrenaline carried him. Behind him, he heard the vendor shouting, not in his voice, but in Ethan's voice. "Help! Somebody help me!" Headlights appeared far down the road. A truck. Ethan waved frantically. "Stop! Please stop!" The truck screeched to a halt. The driver rolled down his window. "You all right, kid?" Behind Ethan, the food stall lantern flickered. The vendor was gone. The driver frowned. "You look like you saw a ghost." "Not a ghost," Ethan whispered. Another voice echoed from the dark desert behind him, this time in the truck driver's exact voice. "You look like you saw a ghost." Ethan screamed, "Drive! Now!" The truck accelerated. The voice kept mimicking, laughing, repeating. The lantern light went out, and the desert returned to silence.